All right, Black History Moment. Black History Moment. Y'all like my dashiki? Y'all like my dashiki?
Don't shake it too hard for me.
Y'all like my dashiki? Y'all like my dashiki? Hey.
So we're gonna play a quick little game. Urban Dictionary. This is close. We love games. So if y'all got any games or little card tricks or whatever that we could show on there, we'll take a few minutes and just show our fun side of things.
Yeah. So send it to us.
So the game is played. This is not how the game is played, but we're gonna play our 2-player version here real quick. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let her go first. You're gonna read me a statement. I'm gonna try my best to get close to the urban definition of the statement as close as possible. So,
and this is not a sponsored video. No. We just having fun.
This
all right.
Just fun.
All right.
Ladies first.
Rage eating. What is that?
Rage eating. That sounds like when you get on my nerves and I go get something to eat.
Very.
I'll go get me a bucket of wings and say I'm not coming home until.
It's when you eat profusely instead of actually dealing with issues. We've done it.
Oh, I remember those days. I think I did that one time when if I stay around, I'm gonna say something I'm gonna regret, and then instead of apologizing, I just call you over.
No.
Say
it differently. Wait. He drives a Pizza Hut, and then he calls me. He goes,
"Hey, you want a pizza? Yeah." And she had an attitude too. She's like, yeah, I'll take a Supreme with the stuffed crust. You want some wings? You want some soda with it? Like, I don't even think we apologized. We just let the food apologize for us. That was funny.
I don't think I had time to argue that day because I had to study. So I was like, whatever.
Let's move on. Having a thigh gap.
A thigh gap. I wish I had a thigh gap. These thick thighs don't lie, baby. They don't lie. I think a thigh gap is just when you have a gap between your thighs. No matter if they big or small, your thighs have a...
This one says a gap between a girl's thighs when she's 95 pounds or 95 pounds, you gotta go get some help.
95 pounds
You gotta go get some help. And 2% body fat.
Wow.
No, there's some thick girls that have thigh gaps. I don't know. The girl you follow on Instagram, she has a... I'm like, how...
Because she works it out.
But that was said. She still has thighs, but it's just no inner thighs.
Well, she has inner thighs, but she has shaped it.
But
so
it's
that
like
she has a little,
right there.
She's like a little window.
Right there. So a thigh gap.
Okay. Being chubby fit.
Ooh.
That's not chubby fit. At one time, baby.
No, I think that's when you're thick, but you still you're not 95 pounds, but you got a little meat on your bone, but you still fit. Like I could walk up the stairs without panting and breathing hard.
So when you run faster than most people and you have a 6-pack of pudding cups.
Pudding cups. Oh, that sounds so good, man. Get some pudding cups today. All right, last but not least, this one's going to tell on me. Maybe I shouldn't have done this one.
Who did I cheat?
Having computer face.
Okay, so I think a computer face is when you're in a meeting and you look like you're listening, but you're not. You're just giving those faces like. Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much close. I think you pretty much got it. To squint and frown when you look at your computer, so people can tell you're very busy.
See, I would say at a meeting, but you're saying at a computer.
So anywhere. So you see me.
Well, say
if you see me at a desk or something, and I'm sitting.
Oh, like what I do when I'm in the office and I'm working in.
You ain't looking at Facebook. You looking at Facebook and Instagram.
I'm just like,
You don't want to be bothered.
This fun moment.
Sorry, coworkers. I'm sorry, guys. I still listen, it's just not as much as I should.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this fun moment.
Yes, please. Like I said, comment games and stuff. You got some weird, strange games we haven't played. I mean, this is not weird, strange, but I don't know. I never really heard the Urban Dictionary. I don't think we even played it.
We played it once.
Okay, so if y'all got any other stuff y'all wanted to try for a few minutes, let us know. And now, let's get to the real.
Have a happy Black History Month. We have one more week left.
Yay! Now let's do this. A pleasant love.
You need to do it right. Yeah!
What's going on, YouTube? I'm Mr. Pleasant.
And I am Mrs. Pleasant.
And welcome to A Pleasant Love. Thank you so much for checking our videos out. Go ahead and follow us on Instagram. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much, as always. So we got some housekeeping things to take care of.
Yep.
First thing first, I'm back. I ain't got
He's healthy.
I don't have the hawk anymore.
He's not sick anymore.
No more sitting. No more. None of that. No more. But while we were sick, we had 2 new subscribers. 2.
Yay!
2 brand new subscribers. That's awesome. Thank y'all guys so much. I know one of them was my former student.
Yeah.
That I taught when when I first started teaching. He came back to be employed at the same school. He came by. Hey, Mr. Puss, subscribe to your video. So that's awesome. Thank you so much, Jimmy, for subscribing. Mm-hmm. Then let's do a pleasant shout out to the one and only Sierra's brother, Brandon Okafor. He led our comment on our last video. We talked about situationship versus relationship.
Go check it out.
Check it out. He wrote a awesome comment on there. Let's read it real quick. God has purpose for our lives and creates seasons in our lives for us to grow towards that purpose. Even though he may have brought that person into your life for us to learn something from the interaction with that person, sometimes they're not supposed to stay around, distracting us from our destiny. You could get caught up with that person and miss God's windows of grace or opportunities that could have launched into a new level of life. Hashtag Brandon's 10 cents. Go ahead, Brandon. Thank you so much. As always, leave a comment so that we, the best one will go ahead and give you a shout out and read the topic,
and like we
the comment of the week.
If you have a friend who might, get a little love for the place of love, let them know about our page. And then guess what? We get more subscribers and we do more things.
Right. Topic at hand today is unconditional love. I know for me it was hard because I really didn't see that as something humans can do. Like that it was only something that supernatural being like God himself to get unconditional.
But that's agape love.
Yeah, that's agape love. I didn't realize that we as humans can also strive for that.
A capability of giving unconditional love and also receiving it too.
Right. And I always kind of put things in perspective to help me to understand things in business. For example, like your job, or if you have your own business, you always strive to do your best you can. Now, perfection is the ultimate goal, which you never really reach as a human being. Perfection, but you always want to strive for your best and try to make sure that you do the absolute best, so that you always are bringing best to the table in everything you're doing.
Yeah. So in a marriage, how that correlates to a marriage is you always want to strive to be the best for your spouse. Right. And so the way of doing that is through unconditional love. Right. Because your love is unconditional no matter the condition of the relationship. Now, what we're saying is that not in an unhealthy sense being conditioned. If it's unhealthy for you, if it's abusive for you, that is not healthy. No, we're not saying that. But to help you grow as a person, help you realize that your selfishness, you just selfish, or you are too prideful, or you are too judgmental, or you are not a good listener. Those are you are horrible at managing money. Those are things that marriages break up over, because those are the conditions that break us apart. If I'm like this and you're like that, we can't come to a compromise that we need to go our separate ways because we don't think alike. Right. So that is what we're saying, is that as you're dating someone, you fall in love with them. No, first you go through, I like them a whole lot. Right. Almost lust for them. You do lust for them because you're like, oh my God, I just want to be with this person. And then you go into the in love. I'm in love with this person. I can really see myself being with this person in a committed relationship for a extended amount of time. But with that in love, you're in love with the person, but you haven't broke down their conditions. Right. And then once you start breaking down those conditions, you are able to determine if you're able to love them in a committed marriage,
Right.
where you have to continuously strive every day to love them unconditionally. Ephesians 5:25.
It says, "Husbands, love your wives just as Christ also loved the church
Yeah.
and gave himself for it." Oh, I love that verse because I believe that Jesus Christ, God, they love the church. That's how they love. I always equate it to like the Saturday morning cartoons. Like you wake up, you're ready to watch that. I feel like that's what Jesus and God is looking at us from heaven when we're, a church is simply two or more people coming to give praise in His name. So He's sitting there looking just like us when we used to watch Saturday morning cartoons, just like, oh, I'm so in love where I'm watching, and that's what I feel like when I'm as a husband. I want to strive to get to that point. Just like my mom and dad, they're about to hit 50 years. Just like no matter what they're going through, I could tell looking at my dad's eyes and looking at my mom's eyes that they love each other.
Right. And what Will just said might sound cheesy about, the cartoon analogy, but if you think about it, when we're gathered in His name, it's a joyous spirit. It's
Right.
a release. It's a joy, like you're watching cartoons, like when we were kids, right? And so when God sees that, He's like, my people.
These are my children.
This is me. This is me on the. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So if that was cheesy, put it in a way of God of a parent looking at their kids like, oh my God.
Yes.
This is what this is God's promise.
Right.
Bam, there it is.
Right.
But
even the Bible even tells us to be like a child.
Yeah.
In serving God. So it's almost like that childlike innocence that we're always trying to reach for,
right,
even in a marriage,
yeah,
to a point where unless you do something drastic, just destroy my life, I'm just gonna love you, baby.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be like a child. Like when you enter pre-K and you didn't care about the color of the skin. You didn't care about who owned the biggest Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
You didn't care about none of that. You were just a child. You saw somebody. You're cool. I'm cool. Let's be buddies. That's what it is when marriage. You want to strive to that point back. It's weird because we get older and we lose that childlike innocence.
And we're not easy to forgive when we get older. Whereas when kids, we're easy to forgive.
You just want to have fun,
and you just want to move on and just be with that person and be and spend time with that person. So an unconditional love. There's a lot of forgiveness. There's a lot of you have to let your pride go. You have to open the window to allow your spouse to come in so that you can understand who they are, and you can hear their heart so that you're able to love them better, and I think for me, at times I put Will in this bubble, because sometimes he can be he's a teddy bear, right? But sometimes he can be very rigid about certain things, and so I think if he's telling me something in that context, I'm like, okay, yeah. And Will's like, no, this is not what I know. That's not what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. And it's like, no, that's just Will. No. And it's like, and we've had the same argument a couple of times since we've been married because I still put him in that bubble. And it's no, Sierra, don't. He is your husband. You can easily forgive other people. Why can't you easily understand or forgive your husband and hear his heart? That's your mate. That's your, that's the person that's supposed to have your back. Right. So really, really stop. Hear him. Right. Comprehend what he's saying. Repeat it back so that you make sure you're understanding what he's saying to betterment for your marriage to be more understanding, so that he can feel comfortable coming to me and talking to me about whatever, because he knows there's no judgment here. I'm gonna really hear his heart. I'm gonna really see his intentions. You know what I mean?
Most definitely. So. My problem was pride. That was the big thing. I was always trying to be that person I had to be right. I don't know. Maybe I got that from my dad or my mom or something. Like, it just feel like I always had to be the right. I never took my own advice. Life is short, If you always got to be the one that's right, always got to be the top, and always got to be, the one in front. That's a lonely place to live. It's great that you're right, But now you're sitting at home in a lonely house with no one because you just had to be right, and that's one area I had to really work on and make sure that I took my own advice and realized that is pointless. Sierra has an opinion. She has a master's. She got thoughts. She has an education. I'm not always got to be the one in front. Sometimes I had to humble myself and say she knows more about this topic than I do. I'm gonna sit back and I'm just gonna support her in it.
And baby, that is a work in progress.
Yes. I mean, I find myself in sometimes actually, but I feel like I'm way better than I was when we started out.
This is true.
So let's also look at 1 Corinthians 13:7. That kind of helps us with our next part of our topic.
It kind of includes everything.
Talking about love. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. And that's how you kind of get to that point. Now we're talking about unconditional love in marriage, but there has to be a starting point. There has to be a starting platform. I like to equate it to when we started off in our relationship. As a man, and I'm keeping it really simple and petty for you. As a man, I started off with my mom at 19. By 21, I was already in a committed relationship. So that was like 2 years where I was comfortable. Fridays I get my Chinese food and watch my kung.
Chinese
And my kung.
Chinese food was his best friend.
H-E-B Chinese food was the bar. I don't know why they stopped doing. that.
Thank God he lives.
Hey, but I had my Chinese food and my kung fu movies on Friday night. But I had to take that baby step. If I really wanted to pursue Sierra, I had to stop and say, hey, that some Fridays I'm just not gonna have that. No matter how long the day was, I gotta stop and compromise with Sierra, and she did the same thing for me.
Yeah. So any penny winning, we don't need nobody. Man gotta come to me, right? That's how it was. But before William, yeah. And so our first interaction in us getting to know each other was me saying, so what you doing tonight?
My Chinese food.
It's Friday night. It's Friday night routine. And I was like, well, I ain't got nothing going on. Mind if I come over? My house not clean. Yeah. Well, get up and clean it. I'll be there in about 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And he said, all
right. So that's where the choices in life. That was a crossroad in life we both had to take.
Of us.
I could have said no. She could have said no. This is Friday. I'm 20 years old. I'm not sitting in no house watching no TV. We both had to make a decision. Are we going to pursue each other, or are we going to stick in our ways?
And at the time, it was friendship.
Right.
It was not like. Yes, he was attractive to. I was attracted to him at the time.
She was attracted to
but
me.
I didn't. I was trying to find a friend to just kick it with that was a good person, and that was it. And voila. So.
And I mean, and like we were saying, this is baby steps. Okay. Yeah. Every single thing you do, even from dating to even the first encounter, is some kind of interview process. Is this somebody worth pursuing past the dating world?
Right.
If it's not, that's what we were saying in our previous videos. Don't pursue the person.
Period.
Don't. I don't see myself marrying this person. I'm having a good time, but that's it. And that's what we talked about last time. The situationship. Don't let it become a situationship. This is a good moment. We had fun. I don't see us going anything. I'm moving on. And that's what we're saying with those baby steps to understand. And I saw something in Sierra that says I want to pursue her past, my Chinese food and my kung fu movies. She's more important to me than that, And so that when we got into the real deeper issues, we were able to handle that because we were able to get past that very first baby step of independence, independent lady, independent bachelor. We were able to get past that part. So then we could hopefully eventually get to 1 Corinthians where we could bear all things. We're still not there yet. That's what we're trying to say. We were talking about the last time at a conference, the 98-year-old couple still has struggles. You know, they still haven't reached
yeah.
the 1 Corinthians yet.
Yeah.
You know, and that should be your ultimate goal.
And it's not a reach. Unconditional love is something that you're striving to within the relationship. I think as you grow to know each other more and more and more, and as you get settled in your careers, as you introduce more family members into the equation, as you introduce your children into the situation, the unconditional love changes very rapidly. And you as an individual in your marriage have to determine, you know, as the conditions change, I have to be able to still see my husband or my wife as a person I fell in love with. And I have to find ways to love them, even with all these conditions, unconditional. Right? And that is something that you're still working on as you're married. It's a goal, yes, that you want to reach, but unconditional love is only, and we both believe this, is God loves us unconditionally. Because he gave us who?
His only son.
Hello.
That's crazy.
That is unconditional.
Just picture that moms and dads out there. Your son, your daughter, and you said, I love you so much, I'm gonna give up my son and daughter's life. That's unconditional. Like, that don't even sound right.
No. So that's we agree on that. We really agree on that. So that's why when this subject came up, we were like, wait a second, but no, wait. But as talking to our friends, we do realize that unconditional love is something that you are working. I think marriage equals unconditional love, like, because it's a continuous cycle. I guess a continuous
something that
back and forth. But with God, it's just boom. No matter what you do.
And then you also share what you said. You said you watching something like the Red Table.
They watched the Red Table with Jada, and she was saying how, like, you know, she's like, you shouldn't have the big old wedding when you decide to get married. You should have the big, grandiose wedding 10 years later down the line, because you stuck it out. Like, the beginning is rough.
Yeah, we're about to hit 10 years now. I want to like scream to the top of the mountain, like, we made 10 years. Like, not a lot of people can say that.
That's true.
Like, shoot, look at these celebrities, look at everybody, like other culture.
Because society says that, you know, we're not getting married anymore. Like, our generation, the generation right before us, and even after us, they're not getting married anymore. They're just together. You know, that's what the society says. But we serve a God.
And we
follow. We're trying to follow and live a life that is holy unto God. You know what I mean? So we are choosing to live a life that's different from what society says we're supposed to be. Hashtag everybody get your life. Hashtag Black History Month. Hashtag let's all live together. Okay? So,
and that's why I feel like that's still part of that. Kind of proves the argument. Should I be with multiple people? No. I don't want to do what I'm doing with Sierra with multiple people. Like, that's getting strived to unconditional love is work. Imagine I got 2 more females. No, I'm good. I'm straight. I'm straight. And then kind of go to that final part of the topic. Make sure it's, as we always say, count your receipts. Make sure it's not one-sided. That's one of the biggest things when we hear about other couples. You even said from third party, you're doing this and this. What is he doing for you?
Oh yeah,
what is she doing for you?
And when you're in a marriage and you're when you're married and you're like, I love this person, like, I'm gonna stick it out, and everybody else looking on the outside like, girl, or God, dude, you doing a whole lot. Where your wife at? Where she at? Well, they're doing such and such and such and such, but I'm here in a lovely marriage. No, you're not. No, you're not. And if you being real with yourself, you need to sit down with your spouse and say, hey,
what's going on?
And then that's good to look at yourself. Like,
are we pursuing this or
not? Are we in this together, or am I just the leader of it all? You know,
roommate.
Yeah. And you need to be able to decipher that it's a 2-party partnership. It's not just a one-sided thing, either good for bad. You know, so. And I said too that, you know, you need to, if you are in a marriage and you feel like, you know, you are doing a lot of the work or holding a lot of the burden of keeping the marriage together, and your spouse isn't, that's when a lot of people break apart.
Oh yes.
But if you want to help save your marriage, have someone or if your husband, or if you trust a counselor or marriage counselor, church person at the church, or you have a friend or somebody that you trust, can say, hey, you know, I'll listen to you guys, you know, but I can tell you what I see, to see if what you're seeing is really what's happening. Because getting clarity that way really helps. And I know for me, that third party is my family and my very, very, very few very close friends who can tell me about myself. Like, Sierra, girl, chill out. Like, girl. Or my brother will tell me, Sierra, too far. Like, you don't have to go there. Like, just let it go. And I was like, okay, you know, because you know me. Like, you know who I am. You know my core. You know my heart. So you understand that if I'm doing something that's overbearing or making things difficult, you can tell me. But that takes you would have to ask God, and I know I have to continuously ask God to send me people that really love me for me, and that see me for me, you know, and that intercede into me as well. So, yeah. So, unconditional love for our married people. Continue to work towards it. Continue to find ways to love your spouse differently. As you grow, as we get older, as you have kids, because it changes, and that spark that you feel between you and your spouse, you have to keep that spark there, because once that spark dies, it's really hard to strive to get back to it. And you want to try to find ways to keep that spark alive in your marriage.
So pray peace and wisdom and clarity through all this stuff. Now, like you said, we're about to hit 10 years, and I feel like I'm learning something every other day. So it's like, what? So
every other day, William?
Yeah, every other day. Don't stop growing. Don't stop learning. All that.
I would agree with that. I was gonna say every week, but no, it is every other day.
Now that we're doing this, I feel like I'm learning something every other day. This is our own therapy. See,
it works out for everybody. Okay.
So awesome.
Well, we love you guys.
We love you.
Hope to see you in another video.
Definitely.
Please like, comment, subscribe, pray, stay strong. No judgment. There's no judgment zone. We just giving you the truth, the real, and the word. Amen. So y'all have a great one. We love you. Peace.